My name is Sarah. My name is Sarah. I live with my husband, John, and our son, Michael. John and I have been married for 10 years. We were happy, or at least I thought we were. We had a nice life, a comfortable house, a lovely garden, and a stable routine. John worked hard, and I believed he was a good husband and father. 6 months ago, we hired Alex to help around the house and take care of the garden. He also spent time with Michael, playing and keeping him entertained. At first, I didn't think much of Alex, he was just there to help. But one evening, everything began to change. I came home late from work. John was still out, and Michael had already gone to bed. I found Alex sitting in the kitchen, reading a book. I joined him, and we started talking. He told me about his life, how he had come from another city for work and lived alone without any family nearby. He seemed so open, kind, and genuine. We talked for hours that night, and for the first time, I felt seen in a way I hadn't in years. A few weeks later, John went on a business trip for 3 days, leaving me alone with Michael and Alex. On the first night, after Michael had gone to bed, Alex and I had dinner together. We laughed, talked, and connected in a way I hadn't expected. Then, it happened. I kissed him. It was brief, but it felt monumental. I immediately pulled away, apologizing and calling it a mistake. But something had shifted. The guilt weighed heavily on me, but I couldn't ignore how drawn I was to Alex. Days later, it happened again, a longer, deeper kiss that neither of us stopped. I felt like I was losing control, caught between guilt for betraying John and an undeniable attraction to Alex. John returned from his trip, and life appeared normal. But inside, I was falling apart. I couldn't look at John the same way. Every smile, every kiss, every shared moment with him was tinged with guilt. Meanwhile, Alex and I avoided talking about what had happened, though the tension between us grew stronger. Then, one day, everything came crashing down. I discovered messages on John's phone, texts to another woman. Her name was Lisa, and they weren't just casual conversations. He had been meeting her in secret. At first, I was furious. How could he betray me? But then, reality hit me like a wave. I was no better. I had betrayed him too. That night, I made a decision. I couldn't keep living with secrets. After dinner, when Michael was asleep and Alex had left, I sat down with John and told him everything. I need to tell you something, I began, my voice trembling. I've been seeing someone. His face fell. After a moment of silence, he confessed, so have I. For the first time in months, the truth was out in the open. We sat together, raw and broken, but for the first time, honest. We decided to try counseling. It wasn't easy to confront our mistakes, but we both realized we wanted to save our marriage. Alex left, and John assured me he had ended things with Lisa. Slowly, we worked to rebuild what we had lost. Counseling taught us to communicate better, to be honest even when it hurt, and to prioritize our relationship. Trust didn't come back overnight. It took months of effort, patience, and vulnerability. 1 year later, John surprised me during a weekend getaway. He gave me a new wedding ring. I want us to start fresh, he said, slipping it onto my finger. Tears filled my eyes. Despite everything, we had found our way back to each other. Our marriage isn't perfect, but it's real. We've learned to embrace our flaws and love each other through the challenges. Michael is happy, and our home is filled with laughter once again. Looking back, I'm not proud of the mistakes we made, but I'm grateful for the lessons they taught us. Love isn't about being perfect. It's about being willing to fight for each other, even when things fall apart. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe. Sparkling Heart.